under more. No. So but I am gonna stop sharing now so that I can give the platform over to Jeff. And Jeff, do you, have I made you able to share as well? Let me
Yes,
make
and then
sure.
if you can also, good morning. And then also Kirsten, who's on, if you can give her the ability to share, I'll share a slide and then she'll have something quickly to go over as well.
Okay. And Kirsten. There you are, Kirsten. You know what? I did forget to do our all of our introductions. So why don't we do that too while I'm trying to figure out, there it is, before I start recording. So can we, so Kevin, can you want to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Sure. Good morning, Pam. Thank you for having me here this morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Howe. I am a outer branch banker. I work with PNC Bank. I have previously worked with Jeff at the Rancho Bernardo branch. Now I'm in a different line of business called Organizational Financial Wellness. And I work closely with Kirsten, which you'll hear her speak here in a moment. But yeah, I'm happy to be on the call and thanks for having me.
Great, thank you. And Jack?
Let me connect here. Hang on.
Okay.
There we go. Are we unmuted? There we go. Okay,
Yeah,
my name is Jack Cohen. I'm a chamber member. I'm also involved in a business investor relations advisors, and we connect entrepreneurs who are looking for startup equity, post-equity capital, as well as established companies looking for private debt capital.
great, thank you. And Sydney, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm Sydney Kennedy. My primary business is time to move care placement. So I provide a free service to help families and seniors find the perfect independent assisted living, memory care, board and care. Been doing that for 18 years. And 10 years ago, I started studying dementia care with TIPA SNO, Positive Approach to Care. And now I'm an advanced certified trainer and consultant. So I do a lot of that as well. It's kind of my passion.
Great, thank you. And Kirsten? Not quite hearing you. There you. I'm gonna just reject. I'm not hearing you, Kirsten, if we're missing you. I understand that you are with PNC Bank, but okay. Well, maybe she's just stepped out for a moment. Joseph?
Hi, I'm Joseph Hankinson from San Diego Miramar College, and I'm in student affairs, work with student government, student clubs, student life and wellness and all that kind of stuff. So, Pam, I wanted to thank you for letting me come to that Palomar thing. I had to run off, decided to say hi to somebody. When I got back, you guys were all gone. I didn't mean to run off like that, but I was really happy to be there, and I hope I didn't seem rude when I ran off, but I did have to see somebody that was there. So,
Oh, perfectly understandable. That's part of what it was all about. You getting to see people you don't normally get to see. And Katie, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Salo, and I work for Poway Unified School District on behalf of a few different entities. One is the Foundation, which is a benevolent organization where we raise money to provide student experiences, largely in STEM and then work-based learning experiences. So my job is to go out and collect business and community partnerships so we can link kids to those experiences outside of the regular school day experience.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing now, and I'm going to let Jeff go ahead and introduce himself and get started.
Yes, good morning, everyone, and thanks, Pam, for having us on. We're happy to be part of the Poway Chamber. Now, for a few months, we've been going to the mixers, and we've been attended a few of these education committees, which I like the idea of the education committee. I think it's great because here at PNC, we're big on education, especially childhood education. The bank, we spend millions of dollars on something called Grow Up Great, and we partnered up with Sesame Street for all these materials and learning stuff to make learning fun for kids. Because really, statistics show, and we believe that like the most critical time for learning development is in like the first 6 years of a child's life. So we do a lot of stuff with education, especially childhood education. Partner up with Junior Achievement. There's a learning center in Escondido. We helped sponsor what stuff they do there. So it's great. And then I don't want to bore you guys on PNC just for 45 minutes. I did want to share a little bit about PNC though, before, in the spirit of it being educational, I wanted to kind of go over two things, credit and how it affects yourself personally and your business. And then financial wellness for your employees, right? What are we doing for our employees to make sure, at most businesses, we always talk about being like client focused, right? We always want to deliver a great client experience, but sometimes we forget to think about like, well, how great of a client experience can my employees give if my employees aren't engaged and they're not feeling taken care of? So we'll hit on that a little bit as well. Like Kevin was saying earlier, usually I'm on Teams. So let me see if I can share. Give me a second.
Should be down at the bottom,
Yep.
share screen.
It's letting me show. Let me see. PowerPoint. Well, first, real quick. Wants me to click on my preferences. Give me 1 second. All right, my MacBook had a protection for me sharing on Zoom here. Okay, here we go. Go Apple. But I think real quick though, let me see. I wanted to share this and I'll share my point. Thank you guys for your patience. Can you guys see my screen though?
Yes.
PNC. So a little bit about PNC. I tell people here when I meet people, it's like PNC is the biggest bank you don't know about or haven't heard. Because we're the 6th largest bank in the country and actually the 5th largest retail bank in the country. We have over 2,300 branches in the country. We're coast to coast, and over 60,000 PNC and partner ATMs. And we offer everything, full service banking capabilities from deposits, payments, personal lending, business lending, credit card, wealth advisory, and brokerage. And we aim to help small business clients run their business better by offering an industry-leading suite of treasury management, advisory, lending, and liquidity management solutions. So just wanted to share a little bit about that. And we have $566 billion under assets here in PNC. So we're a large, sound, safe bank. A lot of times people, you hear a bank you never heard of, you're like, I don't know, especially with all this stuff that happened in the last 2 years with other banks. It's like, I don't know. But no, PNC is actually one of the biggest banks in the country. So I just wanted to share about that. But PNC now, we've been in the West Coast now with branches. This is our 3rd year. But PNC has been around since 1865, though, starting out in Pittsburgh. And then they merged with a large bank in Pennsylvania. They were both Pittsburgh National Charter, Provident National Corporation. Then they had the same acronym, so they kept the PNC. So PNC just means PNC now. It doesn't stand for anything. A little fun fact for you. And then what I was talking about a little bit there about Grow Up Great, it's actually a $500 million initiative that began in 2004 and has benefited more than 8 million children, particularly underserved children from birth to age 5. but built on the understanding that education is a powerful means for economic and social mobility. The program provides innovative opportunities to assist families, educators, and community partners to enhance children's learning and development. So now let me share a different screen now. Let me see.
While Jeff is doing that, are you guys able to hear me? My name's Kirsten Norman, PNC.
Thank you, Kirsten. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you. There's my big phone number. Okay, back on.
All right, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Here. Okay, so like I was saying, that's what I was going to share about PNC. So a little fun facts about us, but I kind of wanted to share a little bit about just building credit, because just being in my role and being in banking now for almost 8 years, you'd be surprised the amount of times I run into people or business owners that just don't understand how credit works. And sometimes they're doing an amazing job running successful businesses that are making over $1 million a year. Or let's say they're in jobs that are paying them really well, but then they just have no idea about how credit works and just kind of other aspects of being financially literate. So I'm going to hit a little bit about building credit, how it affects us personally, and then for our businesses. So the idea, what we want to kind of go over is understanding how the personal and business credit reporting landscape relates to your business, identify what goes into the personal, business, and credit reports and scores, learn how to establish and build strong personal and business credit histories, and understand how lenders and others may use your personal and business credit information. What do you currently know? What do you want to learn? We didn't do a pre-survey, but I don't know if anyone out there has any specific questions, or we could just jump on in and then kind of go over it together. See, but I'll pause there for a few seconds. Okay, take silence as no. But the big picture. I'll
speak to it, Jeff.
I have a question also, Jeff.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
So real quick, what's the bank's policy about separating personal credit from business credit? Because, if you're running a business, you really want to keep your business credit separate from your personal credit. And how much of the personal credit goes into deciding how much business credit somebody gets?
Yeah, so on that, and here at PNC, we have literally dozens of different types of business loans. So it kind of depends what stage you are in your business. So if you're in the 1 to 5 million space of your business, most of your options when you look at lending, they're going to want to look at your personal credit as a personal guarantor. Now here at PNC, once you're in our commercial space, we do offer types of lines of credit and loans with an NPG, which is a non-personal guarantor. But that's once your business is very much established, you're a commercial business, and you're doing probably over 10 million in sales, or if not more, where the business is very structured and set up and already, if something were to happen, to that individual, like the business would just it wouldn't skip a beat. It's already kind of fully established and up and running. But really, if you're in that 1 in 10 space, with PNC and most other banks now, they're going to be looking for that personal guarantor, and they're going to be looking into as the business owner, what does your credit look like as well?
Yeah, so it's real important to keep your personal credit in shape, especially for members of our chamber, which are primarily small businesses.
No, yeah, definitely. So that's why we're going to hit on some stuff there.
Thank you.
On personal credit. Yeah, thanks for the question. And then Kevin, were you going to share something?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. All right. So the big picture, credit reporting and my business. Why are credit reporting agencies important to my business? Well, to seek financing, to manage debts and obligations, to assess and reduce risk before entering into a relationship. The definition of credit. Credit is the ability to borrow money or goods based on the promise that it will be paid back, and important for the financial stability and success of individuals and businesses. Personal versus business credit history. Personal credit history, you have a record of your use of credit reported to consumer credit reporting agencies. And business credit history, your business's record of handling debts and financial obligations reported to business credit reporting agencies. The importance of credit for a business. As the business owner, it will help you access financing, acquire or manufacture inventory, purchase necessary equipment and materials, manage working capital. Let's say your business has seasonality needs, you're busier during winter. Then some of the summer months, right? A line of credit is going to be important to help kind of keep the cash flow going during your slower times. If you want to buy new equipment, expand the business. The list goes on and on. And kind of what I was saying a little bit, like as the business grows and matures, right? Businesses have different needs, right? Businesses, when they're brand new, have different needs than a business that's been around for 10 years and maybe with 24 employees. There's different credit needs, different needs for the business. From aspiring entrepreneurs and emerging businesses that will need to rely heavily on personal credit as the business is established. And as the small business grows, business credit will become increasingly important, but personal credit will still be a factor in lending decisions. Only very large and sophisticated businesses may not need to rely on business owners' personal credit history. But credit in your business. Have you applied for business loans or lines of credit in the past? What kind of information and documentation did the lender obtain or request from you during the loan application process? Did the lender tell you if he or she would need to check your credit history? Stuff like that. In my experience in helping business owners, if you're looking for about under 100,000, you might have if your personal credit is strong, you might have a pretty streamlined process. They might not be asking for tax returns for yourself and the business, but really once you go above that, they're going to be looking into the business credit and your personal credit. The impact of personal credit on my business. It tells the lender the following. What is a personal credit report? It says who you are, how much debt you have, how long you've had it, how frequently you've applied for credit, how much credit you're using, and whether you're making on-time or late payments or credit accounts. What negative information about you exists in public records, such as bankruptcies and foreclosures. And the main credit reporting agencies for consumer is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And that personal credit report information, like I said a few seconds ago, it's going to have your name, right? Your social security is tied to it, your addresses, your date of birth, your phone number, open credit accounts, closed accounts, and then the public record information. What does not appear on a personal credit report? Your checking and savings balances, income, business account information, driving record, marital status, and then something recent, I believe, is medical history is no longer can negatively affect your credit report anymore. So fun fact for you. I'm sure that's from the last few years they made that change. Then personal credit score, you have your FICO score, Vantage score, and many lenders also use their own credit scores. So then a slide there. Typical score range is 300 to 850. I've seen a few 850s in my day. I've never seen anyone with the 300 though. So there it can go as low as there though. But the biggest thing is going to be your past payment history, age and type of credit, percentage of credit used, total balances to debt, recent credit behavior and inquiries, and available credit, right? And then your payment history, outstanding debt, how long you've had your credit, new applications for credit, types of credit for the FICO. And I will say, I'm surprised how often I've had someone say that someone told them, a family member, a friend told them that to get a better credit score, they shouldn't pay off their whole bill for their credit card. They should always keep a balance and like not pay it off every month. I've heard that more times than I can count on my hand. But no, like a little fun, like for your credit, like you want to always make sure you pay off your credit every month. Like if you can, if it's within your means, pay off your credit card bill every month, use your credit, get your rewards. But don't be carrying balances just because you think it's better for your credit. Now, keep the lines open. You don't have to close it. I share that because I've heard that so many times. I don't know how and why people say that, but yeah, don't be paying credit card companies interest for free. What's a good personal credit score? You see a little chart there. Really, once you get for most loans on the consumer side, once especially you get above 720, you're going to be getting the best rates and terms on credit products for the most part. Differs sometimes depending where you're borrowing from, but it's pretty much 720. Keeping up with your personal credit report. You can get one free credit report from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. If you bank with PNC, have a credit card with us, or any kind of lending product, you also do get a free monthly update on your credit score. And I'm sure most other banking institutions offer that as well. It's a free service. And then use a checklist to make sure you're reviewing your report in detail. You're checking that if you're making your payments on time, making sure that little tab that says on-time payment history, make sure that looks nice and clean. Then if you ever had a dispute come up and you have to send something off, always send a copy. Don't send the original of your documentation. If you ever had to support a claim, let's say you had a missed payment, something late payment came up, whatever, you do want to stay on top of your personal credit. Then there are some regulations for fair credit reporting, FCRA, and then the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act, the FACTA. The purpose for which lenders and other businesses can obtain your personal credit report when you need to give permission for others to see your report, your rights to see your report, and your rights to dispute information on your personal credit report that you judge to be incorrect. So if you see something on your credit, maybe somehow someone got a hold of your social and is committing fraud and opening up accounts that you did not consent to, well, you do have rights to dispute information and get your personal credit back in good standing. So something if that ever did happen to you, unfortunately, know you have rights to pursue getting that back in good standing. Little sample of a report here. Put stuff. Some of these items we've already kind of talked about. It's not it. So we'll go to the next slide. But best practices for building a strong personal credit history: maintain healthy credit, pay your loans and other bills on time, keep outstanding revolving debt balances low, pay off outstanding collection accounts and other debts, avoid negative events that could result in public records such as bankruptcy and foreclosure, comparison shop for major loans within a 45-day window, maintain a mix of credit accounts, avoid closing older accounts in good standing. And that 45-day window, let's say if you're ever going like shopping for a mortgage, you want to use that 45-day window for your credit to kind of shop around, see who has the best rate for kind of lending, and then it will all kind of show as one inquiry in that 45-day. Instead of if you go to all these lenders, you're not going to have 10 different inquiries for you shopping around for mortgage rates or home equity rates. But when personal credit history is important for your business, if you're looking to establish a new business, personal guaranteeing or co-signing on a business loan and accessing financing and or trade credit to grow a business. Business credit reporting. And then I guess before we get into the business credit reporting, I have a funny story. When I was like 20 years old, and it's the same way, I kind of relate to the same way, like maybe sometimes business owners, they run into like the realization and challenge of like not having credit, and then how to kind of just sidetracks them on their business. I remember when I was 20 years old, I got into an accident. It was not my fault. And so this other person's insurance, they were going to get me a rental car while they fixed my car up. But then I got to the rental car agency, and lo and behold, they wanted a credit card. Well, 20-year-old Jeff did not have a credit card, which was bad because that meant 20-year-old Jeff could not get a rental car. And then that was kind of my first realization, like, oh man, like I need to have credit. I need a credit card. I need to start building my credit. Luckily, had a family member that I was able to get a car, but it was kind of a realization, like, oh man, like not having credit, can't get a rental car. And then imagine, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of us, we travel, we go places. Imagine not having a credit card and not having any credit. Same way with businesses, they kind of run in, they see an opportunity, they want to buy a business, or maybe they want to expand, buy a piece of equipment, and then they go and apply and they get declined because they don't have any business credit, or maybe they have poor personal credit. It's that realization like, oh man, why don't you start working on this? And we see it a lot here at the bank. The business credit reporting. What are business credit reports? It's a risk assessment tools used to evaluate the risk of lending, extending trade credit, or contracting with a business. We're personal, right? We're looking at your personal information, credit history inquiries. Business credit, it has its business identifying information, business credit history, the business background, registration, financial information, and public record information. The major players in business reporting is Dun and Bradstreet, D&B. Your trade credit performance, we have Equifax and then Experian for business. The focus is on the credit information from both lenders and business vendors. A lot of times as businesses grow, if you are working with vendors that do have trade lines, and typically those will be reporting on the business credit. But then what information do business credit reports contain? You have business name and aliases, companies that have granted credit, registration data, UCC filings, lawsuits, liens, judgments, all stuff there on the slide that they will look at for business credit.
Hey, Jeff,
Yes.
can I just add on to this? Because this is great. I just want to add on, being a former commercial banker. One thing that I used to really tell my clients, kind of going back to Jack's question, when you create like an EIN, it's almost like a child is being born and there's no credit history. So you have to find some way to find credit, right? And Jeff is great at opening business credit cards to start establishing credit, because business credit cards, you don't already have to have established credit. So kind of like going back to this 20-year-old Jeff, he was able to get a credit card, but it wasn't probably unsecured. And so a way to establish business credit in an easier way is to establish a business credit card with Jeff.
Yeah, that is one of the easier ways for the business is starting with like a business credit card as opposed to jumping right into asking for $250,000 for the business.
Right.
And then also, Jeff, on the consumer side, right, to start building that credit, the secured credit card there.
Yeah. Then the regulation of business credit. So many of some of those protection acts I mentioned a few slides ago, they actually do not apply to business credit reporting. But business credit reporting agencies still have procedures in place for the following: providing access to reports, managing disputes, and determining how long information stays on the report. Your business credit score. It's going to be created by business credit reporting agencies and credit scoring companies, many types available. Where you see on the slide, the personal credit, right? That's 3 apples, right? Because for the most part, your Experian, your Equifax, the score should be pretty similar, but depending on the reporting agency and what they're looking for on the business credit, they can range, and then industry does also matter as well for the business. Then that's why you see a variety of fruits, because depending on what you're looking at, it's not going to be all cookie cutter like personal credit sometimes. But checking your business credit report, check your business credit report to make sure the information is accurate. You can create an account with Dun & Bradstreet to access your D&B business credit report and update basic information. And I'm pretty sure with Dun & Bradstreet, they'll give you, you can get your score for free, but then if you actually want a detailed report, they do charge a fee. Then some businesses use credit monitoring services to receive alerts and check business credit scores. Then there's a little slide business credit report checklist. Write your business name, make sure your address, phone number, your website, and then business credit history, payment history, amounts owed, how have you paid your vendors back, and such. But why should I establish business credit? of your entity, use credit reports, help determine approval in terms of financing, right? Your suppliers, they're going to decide whether to grant a deferral of payment for goods and services. Customers, they're going to determine if your company is a legal entity and reputable. Insurance companies help to determine the price that your business will pay for insurance policies. And the procurement officers help evaluate your ability to execute government contracts if you ever do any bids to the government. But then that big one is lenders, right? Your business credit's going to help determine, one, will you get approved for financing, and then the kind of rate you're going to get. If it's going to be a good rate, or maybe if it's spotty, you're going to be paying a higher rate, the worse the credit is or declined. What you should have, and what Kirsten just mentioned, is that EIN number for your business. It is its own separate, it's its own identification for the business. Business credit report, you can verify whether you have one already, and then ask lender suppliers to report information about you and self-report financial and credit data as feasible. Best practices: maintain healthy credit, pay your loans, bills, and taxes on time, make sure your business is visible, maintain good relationships with suppliers and vendors and lenders, and then separate personal and business finances, monitor your personal and business credit history. But then building your business credit history in the next year, think about how having a healthy business credit report can help your business grow. In the next 5 years, how would healthy credit help your business? And thinking about your business and where you want to go, expansion, maybe hiring more employees, remodeling the business, the office, you name it. How lenders evaluate your credit worthiness: they're going to be looking at consumer and business credit reporting agencies, companies that provide reporting. There's federal and state laws that come into play, and then lenders and businesses that use credit reports to report credit reporting agencies. And putting it all together, you have the 5 C's of credit: your capacity to borrow, your collateral, if any, your credit history, your conditions, and then your character as the borrower. Then I'm going to stop there, and then I don't know if we have any questions, but then I was going to turn it over to Kirsten, and she was going to share with us for a few minutes about employees and financial wellness for our organizations. Any questions at all? Hopefully I didn't put any of you to sleep at all, but it is something important. Credit, it does unlock doors, and just knowing where you're at personally and for your business will help your business get to where you want to go, whether you're growing, whether you're more established, no matter what stage of you are in your business journey as a business owner and entrepreneur.
Well, that was very interesting. I don't have a question. I have a statement, though, because now I understand why, like it was probably 21, 22 years ago, my husband was able to get a business credit card, and we've used it, just to pay off things because he was a independent contractor, as we went along, and we still have that credit card and it's still great. But back then we had very little established credit ourselves, but the credit card was very easy to get and it really, really helped. So it's a great thing to know, is I had no idea. I was surprised we even got it back then.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like we have a question in the chat from Sydney. What are your rates like for business credit loans?
So that's going to depend, kind of again on what your credit looks like for the personal and business. But we range from anything from about 1% above Wall Street Journal Prime to as much as like 10% above Wall Street Journal Prime, which again, that's all going to depend on credit. And then also it's going to depend if you're looking for a line of credit or a business loan. If you're looking for a fixed business loan, where like the bank gives you a lump sum and then you pay back in monthly installments, that rate's going to be a lot lower. That one's going to be anywhere from 6 to 9%, maybe a little higher, versus a line of credit. Kind of like a credit card, you kind of pay as you use it and as needed. In a business line of credit, the rate's going to range anywhere from right now from like 9 to 20%, kind of just depending on what's it for. But shoot me an email though. Go ahead.
Just to add to you, Jeff, it also depends on the collateral too.
Yeah, if it's secured or unsecured, right? If you're looking for unsecured lending, you don't want to tie it to anything. That's going to have a higher rate as opposed to if it's secured to a piece of equipment or maybe a commercial property. Then the rates are a little bit more favorable for secured lending usually as well.
Jack, you had a question, and then Joseph.
Real quick. So when you sit down and look at business credit, there's a line of credit through a credit card versus a loan, and while a loan is a lower interest rate generally than a line of credit, the revolving line of credit, really the decision to use line of credit versus a loan is based on your cash flow. So you have to look at your cash flow. If your cash flow is regular, a loan is great. If your cash flow is irregular, sometimes you need to pay a little higher interest rate to make sure you have enough cash to operate your business, week to week, month to month. So those are some considerations to think about.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like on the loan, typically with the business loan request, there has to be a reason like, well, why are you looking for the financing? What's it for?
Yeah.
Or sometimes that line of credit, businesses can put lines of credit. They can be there just for the what ifs for the business. Or, if you have seasonality needs, let's say you have some months that are a little more tight than others, right, to kind of help the business cash flow. So kind of just all depends.
There's no requirement to use the line of credit because no charges accrue unless you use it.
Exactly, just like a credit card. You
Yeah.
you only pay if you use it. So, and then let me stop share, and then Kirsten, I'll let you guys share.
It looks like Joseph had a question for
sorry.
you too, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I was just wondering if I heard you right. So it sounded like you said that if you have a credit score over 720, you're pretty good. Because I was just wondering, because I looked on my bank app, and even though it's like it said I'm in the high sevens, but it still just said good. And so I've always thought like, well, I should probably get it up into the eights or something. And is that not really necessary?
Yeah, sometimes because like I'll use myself an example. Like I pay off all my bills. I've had a few car loans. I've never missed a payment. But since my credit's still considered new, like use myself since I'm still in my mid to late 20s, my credit's still considered like young. So then that's why I can never get like into the 850 range. Like so sometimes it kind of just depends. But that's why like once you're above like 720, when it comes to lending and getting the best rates for like auto loans, personal loans, and mortgages and home equities, typically 720 is a pretty popular cutoff for the best rates. Some lenders go up to like 740. But once you're above there though, it's all the same. But then sometimes there's, until your credit's been really established for a while, you won't get into that 800 range. So
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, well, thank you guys. Sorry about my miscommunication earlier. Like I said, I'm new to Zoom because I've not used it in ages. But I'm going to share my screen now. My name's Kirsten Norman from PNC. I'm attempting to share my screen here. If you can let me know if you see it. No?
Not yet, Kirsten.
Hang on. It could be that I shared it to your other one, but not your phone.
Oh my gosh,
one.
I'm sorry.
Let me try sharing it to the phone. Oh no, that's not what I want. Oh, there. No.
Sorry, Pam.
Let's see if I can do that.
And let me see if I can escape out of this and go back to the meeting too. Maybe I'm not, but it says entire screen.
No, it's not
There.
ready.
Okay, I think.
You got it? There you are.
Okay. Woo! All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So I just presented something about workplace banking. Here is my picture and my contact information. And I work with Jeff and Kevin in the organizational financial wellness space. So our job is to go out to employers and extend their employee benefits to them. Some of them are complimentary. Some of our products do cost money, but you'd be surprised at how inexpensive they are. But I was just going to go into the impact of financial stress, kind of going along with Jeff. People think about it all the time, and on here, the one fact that stands out to me is 38% of people have less than $1,000 saved to deal with unexpected expenses. To me, that's crazy because I know the tires on my car would cost more than $1,000 if I popped all 4 of them, knock on wood. But we're here to educate you in being able to save, being able to bump up your credit score, like Jeff was saying. And even if you don't bank with us, honestly, my sister calls me Frugal Franny. My name's Kirsten, but it's because I'm passionate about it. And I'm a little bit older than Jeff, so my credit score is a little different. But I truly feel like it becomes like an imaginary, like you have to figure out the formula, you know? So thank you, Jeff, for going over that, because it's exciting to me, but I'm a dork like that. So, but yeah, we're here to help employees and the bottom line. And because I always say, like, I can't do their job, they can't do mine. And we all need to help each other, right? And everyone has a passion. Mine happens to be money. Who doesn't like new shoes, right? So our approach to financial wellness, this is the nuts and bolts of our program here. And I know it's 9:53, so I want to keep us to time. But we offer a Bank at Work program, and that's where Kevin will come into play, and he will share a screen, or I will share the screen and he will speak to it. But we go out to your employees and help them strengthen their financial wellness and awareness. And we offer employee education and credit help, anything we can help savings wise, and offer different opportunities to save and whatever. Every person has their own goal, right? So there's no cookie cutter approach to this. We also offer health and benefit accounts. And this is where we come into play for offering HSAs, FSAs. Now, we're not the record keepers, so brokers are actually our friends. So if you know any health brokers, those are our friends. We also offer a student debt solution. So if anyone's ever had any student debt, we have an opportunity to help them repay or refinance, or actually set it up for their children to have. So for instance, I have a 9-year-old, and instead of all the trinkets that she gets for her birthday, I just send out a link to, I mean, not her friends, but to her family members to contribute to her 529 plan. We also offer online financial education. So if you can't be there in person, we have the opportunity to do it online. We also offer retirement plan services and personalized banking solutions. And that's where kind of Kevin comes into play right here, the technology and solutions. So I'll be honest, I've been in banking 20 years, and I have never worked for an institution, and I've worked for a few, that has the best online platform. And I can say that because I have it, and I've had others, and I still have others because I like to hide money from myself. And you can do that, and you can transfer back and forth, but hopefully you're not transferring back and forth if you're trying to save, but you're able to. I'm gonna let Kevin kind of take over now that it's 9:56. This is just a map of kind of what Jeff already went over. So I'm going to stop sharing here if I can.
Thank you. Thanks,
then,
Kirsten. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin, while I grab your thing, okay?
Yeah. So thanks, Kirsten. Yeah, as Kirsten mentioned, I partner with her. My role at PNC Bank is to really support Kirsten in providing the financial wellness guidance to the employees. of the companies that we partner with through our workplace banking program. So what does that look like? First of all, the employees have a dedicated point of contact, and myself as a out of branch banker. So I'll have those financial wellness conversations with them, whether it be about budgeting or savings, setting up a savings plan, helping them use our digital tools to do that. Or maybe it's a conversation around the credit, like Jeff just spoke to, that consumer credit, right? Whether they're building credit for the first time through using our secured credit card, or maybe they're trying to reestablish credit, or they have strong credit and they're trying to leverage that into maybe a home loan, or even financing their own business, right? Stepping away from their employment at the company and doing that. I also, as a banker, can give them access to our products and services, some of the promotional offers that are available to them through the workplace partnership. I'll help them set up their direct deposit. Direct deposit is a really strong beneficial for both the employee and the employer, right? It's beneficial for the employee because it's the fastest and easiest way to get paid. And it's beneficial for the employer because it really helps with the retention of that employee, right? They tend to stay longer. They're connected. They know the employer cares about their finances a little bit more. And so that's always good. I can also help them apply for credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and really take care of anything they need right at their workplace, which is super easy and convenient for them, right? I think, can you guys see the screen? Yeah. So
Yes,
so here's our promotional offer that we offer for our accounts. When you establish an account with us, set up the direct deposit, you have the ability to earn these rewards. And so this is one of the features, right, are the benefits, rewards, rate discounts, and things like that. I like to really think that the reward they get is the resource and the guidance and personalization of banking with me, right? Because when I meet with clients, they're all kind of at a different stage on their financial wellness journey. Some of them are just kind of starting to get clear around their finances, how they're earning their money and how they're saving it. And some of them are really trying to grow, right? They're at a stage where they've been managing their money for a little while, and now they want to leverage that into purchasing a home. So, I'm really there as a resource. Our program is designed to do that, help the employees, grow and get to the next steps for themselves. So, it's a little bit about what I do kind of on the day-to-day is visiting companies and talking to employees. Definitely feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my phone number and contact information in the chat for you guys. But again, thank you for your time, and I'll turn it back to you, Kirsten.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all for bearing with us with using Zoom. Like we said, we're in the banking industry, so we use Microsoft Teams on the daily. So I apologize. We all had to be on like our personal laptops. And so it's a little quirky. But thank you for all the questions. And we really appreciate the ability to give and take and be able to make this a fun meeting and not just us talking to you. But if you have any questions, I don't know if we're able to send you our flyer, Pam, and you could distribute, or if you can send me an email and I can distribute. I don't want to add more work to you, but we just really appreciate the time. And then Jeff, if you had any other comments too, I know it's 10:01.
No, just thanks everyone for having us. And like I said, we're here in the Rancho Bernardo Poway area to serve the community. We're happy to be a part of the chamber and look forward to connecting with the other chamber members as well. So at this event, so feel free to say hi.
Great, thanks. Yes, please do send me the flyer. I'll see if I can't have it uploaded onto the chamber website along with the this presentation. That'd be fine. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. That was very interesting, and we really learned a lot. So If we don't have any more questions, I'll go ahead and close the meeting up.